How you guys doing? This is Nigel Birch, mental health and love advocate and creator of Everyday's Valentine's Day. This conversation is a collaboration between MARTK'D, University of Toronto, Scarborough, and Keeping It 100. And like I always say, love every day like it's your last.
Well, keeping it 100, when I saw that phrase, it was easy and clear to me. I am to be able to say out loud in the most professional and business places, regardless of where I am within my own business or industry, and be able to say, I'm Kevin Johnson. I'm a yard man from Jamaica. And I am from Rexdale, which I big all the time. That to me is keeping it 100. It is the opportunity to tell people who I am, the authentic me, and say, oh, and by the way, I'm also the CEO of MediaCom.
Absolutely. I do this on both ends.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Disarm a black man from his humanity is you force us to cut us off from our own emotions and demonstrate that we can only show one emotion, which is anger, and that's the emotion that's going to get us in trouble. So once you reclaim your full range of emotions, this is not something that happens overnight. This happens as you become a middle-aged man. Then you start to realize, like, I need to do things that demonstrate to people, who I am inside.
Yeah. For me, that's really just being who I am. That's being all right with it. Is for me, that's 100. Back in the day, there was this keeping it real. Like, so-and-so's keeping it real. And keeping it real started leaving a lot of brothers to, the fakest that they could be.
Right?
to try to exemplify this real, and this, so 100, it could be taken the same way, but I think when you think about 100, it's that 100%, that buck, that pound, that 100%. We can say 110%, but we know the reality is once you've given that 100, like that's the ceiling in a sense. We can say 1,000, we can say whatever, but that one in front of those zeros is kind of that level we know. So for me, it's turning it. You can only turn the volume up to that 10. Once I've got to that 100, I've given all I can. And I'm living to my best degree. So that's what keeping it 100 means to me, and it's a very personal thing. It'll change with everybody that you ask that, but I'm not looking for my 100 to be your 100. It's mine.
It's my journey.
And I know what's real within me. I know when I'm not keeping it 100.
Sure.
And that's what I would encourage young people to do, is to get on that journey and look at those that are closer to you, because the instructor at the gym, the bus driver, everybody's got a story, but you got to be open to listening. You got to open yourself to listen and hear it. It's just like when you go to the ocean, you could sit there and listen to the waves come and crash the shore. And in that listening, you'll start to find things within yourself, but we're so busy. And, back in the day, we used to, when you heard music, it was your parents' music or, your older family playing the music, or in a car, or it was it was broadcasted. Now we're all in our ears. I don't know what music you're listening to. You don't know what I'm listening to, whereas we used to share that. And I think that's what we got to kind of, or I try to, steer people into, is this idea of just being open to what's around you and listening and stopping and feeling. as opposed to being so insular, because you start to build a lot of emotions and you may not be able to find a way to balance them if you're trying to do it on your own.
So I'm just gonna drop it with this one is, this last question is, what does it mean to keep it 100, brother?
I mean, that's a tricky question. I feel like, to me, keeping it 100 is how you align with your personal principles. I think that every human, black, white, purple, pink, if you don't have your own personal principles that you follow, then you're gonna you'll be fooled with everything you do. So I think keeping it 100 is completely different for every single person that's gonna say it, right? So it's like, you have different principles than I have different principles, but as long as I'm staying aligned with myself in the majority of things that you walk around with, like obviously don't go steal and all that foolishness, but like at the end of the day, as long as you're aligned with your personable principles and you're cool with walking around in the world, you're keeping it at 100 to me.